Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Gold Rush Rick Ness gets unexpected visit from landowner Troy Taylor. On the next Gold Rush, we check in with miner Rick Ness, who has 4 years under his belt running his claim. Ness has bet his entire season on a deep cut, but it has not delivered so far. In TV show's Ace exclusive clip, Ness talks about his worries as he is 800 ounces short of his goal. Will Ness hit the quality pay dirt and find the mother lode he needs to save his business and keep him in the mining game? Rick Ness, Troy Taylor, and the Duncan Creek claim. Troy Taylor put the news to Rick Ness in our clip below, and he wants Ness to buy the family out on the land and take over the claim. Problem is, Ness is in a cash crunch. After digging 1,000,000 yards of overburden, Rick is 800 ounces short of his goal, and as winter approaches, he still hasn't reached the high-grade pay layer he's banking on. Ness says, "I'm definitely glad that I am up here, that I got away from Dawson. I mean, the ground is getting harder and harder to find by the minute, and I think I made my move at just the right time." Now in his 4th year, running his own claim, Rick Ness is making big moves. He's bet his entire season on a 190-foot deep cut that could hold $5 million in gold, but so far it hasn't been delivered. The struggle is real on Gold Rush. Deeply concerned, Ness says, "I am still worried about hitting our 2,000-ounce goal, because not only do I need to send all my guys home with, plenty of gold in their pockets, I need it too. I can't survive off of feeling proud of a giant hole we dug." Ness cedes that the gold is good so far, but that the stuff on the bottom is better. He adds that they are not there yet and need to score the gold out of the claim to be able to hit their goal. Then the wild card hits. Troy Taylor pays an unexpected visit. Troy Taylor is the owner of the Duncan Creek claim that Rick is currently leasing and working. The visit is unexpected, and you can see the tension on Ness's face. Sitting down in his office, Ness says, "So are you in the neighborhood, or is there something important? What's going on?" Taylor cuts right to it and lays it out for Rick. He says, "Dad and I have been getting some inquiries into our property, and I hate to put the pressure on you, but we're ready to sell. We're hoping that you are confident enough to buy us out." Watch the episode to see if any light emerges at the end of a long dark tunnel for Ness. The Gold Rush crew has been through many highs and lows in their relentless pursuit of gold in the rugged wilderness. Among the most determined is Rick Ness, the hard-hitting, never-back-down miner who has carved out a reputation as one of the boldest characters on the show. Known for his fierce independence and drive to strike it big, Rick's journey has been a roller coaster of challenges, victories, and unforeseen events. This season, Rick's mining operation is at a crucial juncture. With time running out, expenses piling high, and every ounce of gold needed to break even, tension runs thick through the camp. But as Rick and his crew wrestle with machinery and dig deeper into the unforgiving ground, they encounter something they didn't expect: an unexpected visit from the landowner, Troy Taylor. Troy Taylor, a man with a no-nonsense demeanor and an intimidating presence, isn't the kind of guy you want to upset. He's been letting Rick operate on his land, trusting that the partnership would be mutually beneficial. But rumors have been circulating that things aren't quite going as planned. Whispers among the local mining community hint that Rick may have bitten off more than he can chew this season. With equipment constantly breaking down, crew morale at an all-time low, and a dwindling amount of pay dirt to process, it's clear Rick's operation is teetering on the edge. The day begins like any other, with the crew waking up to the bitter chill of the Alaskan morning. As they gather around, planning out the day's work, the sound of an approaching truck catches their attention. Dust swirls as the vehicle pulls up, and out steps Troy Taylor, wearing his trademark leather jacket and a stern expression. Rick's face tenses as he catches sight of the landowner. This is the last thing he needs right now. "Troy, I didn't expect to see you out here today, Rick says, walking over with a cautious smile. Thought I'd check in and see how things are going, Troy replies, his voice low and measured. Heard some talk around town, Rick. I need to know if you're still on track. There's an awkward pause as Rick sizes up the situation. He's been through enough over the years to know when someone's fishing for information. But he also knows that this isn't a man he can afford to alienate. Things have been tough, I'll be honest, Rick admits, wiping his brow. We've hit some bad ground, had some equipment issues, but we're getting back on our feet. Troy isn't convinced. His gaze sweeps across the camp, taking in the half-finished wash plant, the piles of tailings, and the weary expressions of the crew. It doesn't look like you're sitting on a gold mine, Rick, he says bluntly. I've got investors breathing down my neck, and they're not interested in excuses. They want results. Rick takes a deep breath, fighting the frustration building up inside him. He's poured everything into this season. Money, sweat, sleepless nights, and it's still not enough. But he's never been one to back down from a fight. Look, I get it, Rick says, his voice firm. We're not where we need to be, but we're close. We just need a little more time. Troy narrows his eyes, clearly weighing his options. Time's money, Rick, and you're burning through both. The crew watches from a distance, uneasy as the conversation grows more tense. Rick's foreman, Z, shifts nervously, ready to jump in if things escalate. Rick's second-in-command, Cruz, exchanges a glance with him. They all know what's at stake. If Troy pulls the plug on this operation, it's over. Months of hard work, massive investments, and dreams of hitting pay dirt would vanish in an instant. But Rick isn't one to give in easily. He knows he has to find a way to convince Troy that this season is still salvageable. And more than that, he needs to remind him of why he's out here in the first place. Remember why you gave me this lease, Troy? Rick says, changing his approach. Because I'm the guy who doesn't quit. I've been down and out more times than I can count, and every time I've come back swinging. This ground has gold in it, and we're getting closer to the hot spot. You give me a little more rope, and I'll turn this thing around. You'll get your cut, and then some. There's a flicker of interest in Troy's eyes, though his expression remains stony. Rick's words have hit their mark. Troy knows Rick's reputation as a scrappy fighter, someone who's clawed his way up from nothing. It's why he took a gamble on him in the first place. But Rick isn't done. He steps closer, lowering his voice so only Troy can hear. You pull out now, and yeah, you might save face with your investors. But if you stick with me, if you let me push through, you'll be part of something bigger. You'll be the guy who backed the winning horse when everyone else rode him off. Troy studies him for a long moment. The silence is thick, stretching out across the camp. The crew holds its breath, waiting for the verdict.